everybody, how you doing? This is Henry Knight for DM Talk. Welcome. Let me know what you guys think. Just go ahead and let me know what you guys think of the show. Let me know if it's good or bad or the ugly. I can take it. Anyways, DM Talk is about where I talk about any topic. Topic could be anything from game mechanics, creatures, talk about how you feel about role-playing, anything. But tonight we have three main topics we're going to talk about before we get to our open-ended topics. Tonight we're going to go over favorite character class and why. What makes you want to play Dungeons and Dragons? And then third topic, initiative or group initiative. These are pretty big topics, but let's go over the number one topic in tonight's DM Talk. But before we go over all that, let me tell you that Season 2 is coming up in May 18th. May 18th, 8 p.m. Central, Season 2 begins. Yes, that's right. I'm super pumped about it. The guys are pumped about it. We can't wait to see y'all back with my players. We're going to have a great time. Season 2, all new story. You know, a group that has been tight since Season 1, and they're returning. And Season 2 will be very, very good, I hope. Either way, I'll see you guys on May 18th, Season 2. Stay tuned. But tonight, we're going to talk about favorite character class. Why do I like character classes? Well, character classes make the game. You know, you can say what you will and create a wonderful story which makes the game, right? You know, you have a soldier. That's a class, right? That's like a job. You know, so you're a soldier. You know, you're a paladin. You're a rogue. You are a, excuse me a moment. You are just whatever you like to pick. A wizard, a sorcerer, a paladin. Many classes, an artificer. So what is your favorite class? Let me know here on the chat. Let me know what's your favorite class. Mine is a paladin. I love paladins. I like playing the Boy Scout. I like playing lawful good characters. I'm not so much with the evil characters, or someone's a little feisty, or an oath breaker. I love paladins. I love their abilities. I love their passion. And it all depends on how you run your character class. You could play a rogue. Back in the day, the rogue used to be called a thief. And for all you role players out there, you know that a rogue is a rogue. But back in the day, it was a thief. I'm sorry. You know, it's the whole new verbiage we got nowadays. I love it. But either way, my character class is a paladin. What's yours? What do you guys like to play? Let me know here. There's plenty of classes that you can choose from. You have barbarian, bard, artificer, cleric, druid, fighter, monk, paladin, a ranger, a rogue, a sorcerer, warlock, or a wizard, and then a blood hunter. Let me know what you all think. What do you guys like to play classes? We're going to go over each one. I mean, what do I think of each class? And, you know, it's cool. It's cool that we could look at these classes and say, hey, that's great. That's great to have. It's great to play. I want to be a ranger, pull the cord back, you know, a Robin Hood type. You could look at a ranger like a a monster hunter. That's part of its subclass. You could pick, subclasses that will mold your character. What do you guys think of classes? Okay, let's go over each class because I think this is a great topic. Okay, so we have the Artificer. Artificer is pretty cool. What's so cool about Artificer? He's an inventor. He invents stuff. So that is a pretty cool, quick description of the Artificer. Next up, Barbarian. I'm going to go through these guys pretty quick. He's a tribesman. He's bulky, strong. Barbarian, if you watch the movie Conan, hence the name Barbarian, that's perfect. That's exactly what they are. A bard. A bard, they have a music instrument. They play music, but they're also utility. So just remember that. A cleric. A cleric, they pray to their god, goddess, or whatnot, and they're healers. But that's mainly what they do. Just to be quick about it. They're good warriors as well. A druid, okay. Love druids. Love druids. They're holy. They are environmentalists, I call them. They're in tune with nature. And they have an ability to change into animals as well, which is very cool. And we're not going to go under the different circles and stuff, but you play a druid, kind of cool. Okay, fighter. I like fighters. I love fighters. Just like paladins, fighters are, they're your barrier. They're your first line of defense. They attack, but right there, when the creatures come, the fighter's up there. They're in the front. They're in the front line. At least in my games, that's what fighters do. Monks, martial artists. Back in the day, and I say this a long time ago, back in the day, a monk. If you watch the show Kung Fu, David Carradine played a monk, and very cool. They are they're very strong, and they're also close combat, grappling and stuff. And if you get hit by them, they could stun you. You could lose your movements and stuff. So they're very dangerous up close. Okay, we have a paladin. Yeah. My baby, my favorite. Again, what is your favorite? Hit me up in the chat. Let me know. What is your favorite? What we got here? Paladin. Yeah. They're Boy Scouts. I call them Superman. Yeah, they're Superman of D&D. They're righteous, man. They're good. They won't do wrong. They have a calling, and the calling is to help people all around. And they also could be your front line as well. It depends how you guys play it in the group. And you have your ranger. Your ranger is your nature guy. He's the tracker. If something goes wrong, the ranger's there. He's the guy or the class that says, I know that creature. I'm proficient in that giant. I know how to fight him. I know what type of creature we're up against. Stay close to me. Watch your back. against it. That's what a ranger does. And of course, you have your subclasses, and they're very cool. Very, very cool. Rangers are a force to be reckoned with, but they're all around. They're well-rounded classes. Rogue. Aha, the thief. The rogues are very cool, and they have their abilities of stealth, their sleight of hand, very, very good. They have great subclasses, but also, you can be something different here. You can be, with your subclasses, you don't have to be that thief. You can be a swashbuckler, mastermind, something like that. Those are the subclasses. I'm not going to get into them, but basically that's what a rogue is. In your mind, and back in the day, they were thieves. But you don't have to do that. You can go in a very different direction with the rogue. But it's very cool. Man, that's a sneak attack. It'll get you every time. Sorcerer. Magic characters. Yeah. Gotta love them. Let me know what you guys think. Your characters, your classes. What do you guys like to play? Put it down here in the chat. Let me know. Sorcerer. The sorcerer, they do raw magic, and that's basically what they do. And what raw magic is, you tap, the magic from the earth. Sorry, not the earth, from the realm, and you channel that magic. You use it unconditionally. You use it completely with no bounds, no rules. That's what raw magic is. Your mind, your spirit, you tap that energy. And you could also use blood magic too, which is very, very dangerous. Everything that raw magic does is unexpected in many ways. And it's very unpredictable. But sorcerers are very, very cool. They could strengthen their magic abilities. And, if you pick a great subclass, sorcerers can be a great help. Same thing coming up, Warlock. Warlocks are, they have a pact with, other worldly beings, gods and so forth, entities, demons, that type of thing. If you're looking at a warlock, that's cool, and their subclasses are also very good. What do we got next? The wizard, yay! The wizard is very cool. What I call as a wizard, a scholar, an aristocrat. He is always in books, smart, knows his magic well. He's not going to do wild magic. He's very structured. And if you like to play a wizard, then by all means, play the wizard. It's a very, very cool class. And last but not least, we have the Blood Hunter. Okay, so the Blood Hunter. What is a Blood Hunter? Well, it is many things. It has different subclasses. You could change into a Lycan. You have many, many mysterious abilities. They do hemocrafts, blood's magic. They can affect evil. They can resist divine, rebuke, and arcane bindings. They can do a lot of things. They are monsters. They could change into a monster to fight a monster. They're very, very strong classes. Now, do you want this? By all means, it's very cool. One of the ones I pick when I do play a Blood Hunter, I would play the Order of the Lycan. And the Order of the Lycan is very cool. You know, you change into a hybrid transformation at 3rd level, and it's got really cool stuff. I'm not going to go over all the subclasses, but it's very cool stuff. All depends on what you like completely as a player for your classes. And I guess that's it for classes. What we got next? What makes you want to play D&D? This is the next topic. This is a heated topic for me. What makes you play D&D? To me, let me go over this. I want to say this in a brief moment. I'm going to say that whatever happened to the creators of Dungeons and Dragons and stuff, that to me, that all happened. Okay, we all know all that. Not going to say what it is, but we all know what happened. But we're here now in 2024, March 29th at 11:49 p.m. And we're talking about what makes you want to play D&D. You know what makes me want to play D&D? My friends, the fantasy aspect about it, the way you could pick classes and adventure, DMing. I love DMing. So that's what I like about Dungeons and Dragons. That's what I love about D&D. But what makes you want to play Dungeons and Dragons? Oh, but if you worry about what happened long ago in the past, and you're going to let that bring you down, then oh well, you might as well don't play Dungeons and Dragons. Don't play any role-playing game, because honestly, role-playing is fun. It should be, hey, an enjoyment. It should be a place where all of us can sit down and enjoy ourselves. When we're not enjoying ourselves in a role-playing game, why bother playing it? Why bother doing it? Seriously. If your enjoyment is the role-playing and having a good time and spending that 2 hours, 4 hours, whatever it is, with your friends, family, then if that's what you like, then by all means, role-playing is for you. But if that's what you don't like, then don't play. But the question is, what makes you want to play Dungeons and Dragons? I'm telling you what makes me want to play Dungeons and Dragons is the fantasy aspect of it. I love fantasy to the point where, you know, jumping in to that reality, that fantasy world of dragons and dwarves and elves and orcs and goblins, all that stuff. Well, you can say, well, Henry, it doesn't make any sense. You could just read a book. Yes, you're right. I can read a book. You know, I have Game of Thrones. You know, I've read fantasy novels. But they're great. They're fun. And I love fantasy. I love to write myself. So I'm going to write and have my story into a game that you could run with your players and then enjoy yourself. Because that is the game. Number one, if you're a DM running a game and story that you like and playing it with your friends and family and making them happy is great. Two, what about the fantasy aspect of it? The world, the dragons, the orcs, the goblins. Like I said before, all that stuff is why I like Dungeons and Dragons. But now, people, everybody, they're going out there and they're saying, "Oh, we're gonna bring up the past. We're gonna say, oh, we're gonna let a company bring us down in the community. We're a community of role players. We're a community of game masters, DMs, players. We are what makes Dungeons and Dragons. Without us, they're just a bunch of books. So why let a corporation, bring us down? Why? Dungeons and Dragons is a fantasy game, and it's played in the table. It can be played at a school, after school, recreationally. It can be played in a library. It can be played anywhere. And all you need is this. So if you're going to bring the past in and say, hey, I'm not going to play because, that corporation, that company said, hey, you got to do this, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to say what they did, but, if you're going to let that bring you down, then just quit. Don't play role-playing games anymore, honestly. Because if you play another one, you're going to find something that you don't like in that role-playing game. Am I right? Tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you guys think. Am I right? Am I wrong? Do I know what I'm talking about? Put it down in the chat. Let me know. Final topic. Initiative or group initiative? This is a big subject for me. Touchy subject, because I like fast combat. And when you do initiative, and D&D has it, the DM's Guide has it, they have group initiative. I absolutely hate initiative. From one character, one player, they have their initiative and go on. And I understand a fighter has this initiative. I know a thief can't use certain things later on, or a rogue later on in initiative. It'll work. It'll grant them early initiative to act first before all. I get that. I understand all that. I get it. But what makes D&D 5e so massive is technically they're superheroes. Yes, I've said it here first on DM Talk. They're superheroes because they don't want you to go past level 7, because after level 7 in Dungeons and Dragons D&D 5e, level 8, 9, 10, and so on, they're extremely powerful. The players, the characters are so powerful that in 5e, they're just going to be in and out. They're going to be so strong that it's going to be almost, I can't work with this. Well, it depends on the DM. It depends on the story as well. All that is story-wise. But initiative or group initiative, I like group initiative. You have initiative, player 1 goes, player 2, player 3, player 4, player 5, player 6, 7, and 8. I've had 9 players before. They're going to say, the game only wants 6. You know what? 9 players is fine. Heck, I've had 12 players before. And you know what? There is a time limit. No matter if you have group initiative or not, or regular initiative. You go to the player, it's your turn. You start counting. Oh, wait, at higher levels, like I said before, anything after level 7, it gets difficult. They take longer and longer to do an action because you have to, I want to look on my app to see what you got. Start flipping. And you know what? To be honest, if you go through that character and it's your turn, then act. You're in combat. Act. Do something. You have an action. You have a bonus action. Not everybody has bonus action, but act. Do something. What is that? What does that do for you in that initiative? If the player takes too long and you have 9 players, and by the time they're done with their turn, or whoever jumps in, the creature goes, oh, you got to go through them. You try to be as fast as possible without delaying the outcome. The outcome is the end of the combat turn. That's the outcome. Number 1 turn, turn 1. Initiative. The way it's played in 5e, everybody rolls the dice plus their modifier, and then whoever gets the highest goes first. If the DM gets a higher roll than whoever on the player side has a high roll, if I'm higher than their roll, then I go first, and we go from there. Then, if you're playing a dragon, if they got a layer, they roll a 20, okay? So now you have all these obstacles in combat. If you're fighting a creature that has a layer, then you have a layer action, depending on where it lands. If it's on a 20, it's going to land on a 20. Boom. That's a layer action, right? And then I get to do that. Or depending on who goes on the initiative roll. Is it the player? Is it the DM? Whatever. Or creatures. Group initiative. I roll. They roll. Whoever gets highest goes. Simple as pie. I like that because it's faster. Okay, I go. I do all my actions. Oh, wait, they got a reaction. Okay, great. Go. You have 1 reaction per round. You have, if you're a fighter, action surge. You can only use 1 per round. So then at higher levels, you're starting to look, and guess what? You have all these issues. You have all these issues. Because now 20 minutes went by, 30, 40, 45, 50, an hour of combat. You might be on the 5th player. Oh, but they tell you, oh, if you only have 4 or 5 players, 6 at the most, it'll be easier. And yes, it will be, because you have less characters or less players. But it still pisses me off that the initiative, individual initiative, is annoying. It's horrible because it's slow. It is. I've tested out individual initiative in season 1 and group initiative. Group initiative by far cuts combat by half. It does. I watched the videos. I proved it. It cuts it by half. Now, even if you have somebody in that initiative that's slow, it still cuts it. Want to know why? Because, yeah, each person goes, but it takes longer. What do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think about initiative, group initiative. I know you guys are going to be, well, initiative is awesome because it keeps everybody in play and I get to use my special something depending on what class you're playing and so forth. That's initiative. Group initiative, come on, my group initiative people. The group initiative, what do you worry about that? What is group initiative? Everybody goes on your turn. And you could either go clockwise or counterclockwise. And they can play it, okay, you go. That's a group effort. It's faster, it's quicker, and boom. That's what I like. I like that they can choose when to go. Because when you're fighting, and here's my argument, and listen here. When you're fighting, you're not going to say, hang on there, Mr. Bad Guy. Little Johnny here is going to go first because he's a superhero and I'm not. I'm more of utility. Hang on. Let me go in the back here. Think about it. Yeah, my ice machine, sorry. Think about it. I mean, come on. I know this is a role-playing game in fantasy, but in combat is combat. And if you're going to fight, you have a reaction, right? Somebody's going to throw a punch, a reaction. You're not going to say, hang on. He has the initiative. You can't hit me. Really? Oh, wait. The rogue, huh? He's faster. He has this special power that he can interrupt, and he can be first instead of me because he has that ability at level 17. You know, I understand it takes away from classes. I get it. And it takes away from the players playing those classes because they want to use those things. And if you're a rogue, it takes away from that. I get it. But at higher levels, again, D&D 5e is superhero-ish. If this were the white box, or back in the day, it would not work that way. It wouldn't. Want to know why? Because it's hardcore, right? It's either fight or flight, and that's pretty much it. And where am I going with this? Very simple. I like group initiative because it's faster, and the group decides who goes first. Either they pick who goes first, or they go counterclockwise or clockwise. It's they have more power in that group initiative. Initiative. Why I don't like it? Because it takes too freaking long and it delays combat. It drags combat. That's why I don't like it. Now, does it give players advantage? Yes, because depending on if you're playing a rogue or a fighter or whatnot, it's advantage. It gives you advantage. Yeah, it does. But the two, take from the two. You know, what do you do at your DM table? At your table? Let me know here in the chat. I love you guys. I will see you next week. Creatures of the Realm, DM Talk. Stay with us.